Hello everyone, welcome to live webinar by Azent.com. We have the University of Applied Sciences Europe, which is situated in Islon, Berlin and Hamburg. So we'll be taking all the questions live, okay, whichever you have, and feel free to ask us. So the University of Applied Sciences promotes the future-oriented development skills and interdisciplinary teaching formats in step with actual practice and according to the highest international standards, right? So now let's start about it. So myself, I am Pooja Krishna. I have over 9 years of experience in counseling students for admission overseas. So during this time, I've helped hundreds of students to get admissions into top schools in USA, Germany, Canada, and Australia. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Prasham Gautam, my co-host, who is a business development manager at the University of Applied Science Europe. Mr. Gautam, could you please quickly tell our audience about your university and also a little background about yourself? That would be really great.
Sure, definitely. Well, as you've already introduced me, my name's Prasham Gautam. I'm with University of Applied Sciences Europe. Uh, I take care of certain regions within India itself and other countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Indonesia, then Myanmar, and there's one more I forgot. That's the latest edition that I got yesterday, so I have to work on that as well. Apart from that, my institute is we have our main campus in Iserlohn with two more campuses, one in Hamburg, the media city itself, and the other in the capital city of Berlin. The one in Berlin is it's quite close to the city center itself, and it's majorly a hub for us for our business programs. While if I go towards our Hamburg campus, it's a major hub towards our arts program. And most of our German programs are actually taught in our Iserlohn campus, along with Student College, which is also known as the German Foundation. Now, about myself, I would say like I've been in the education industry for the past, I would say, couple of years. Prior to that, I've been in the finance industry for a very, very, very long time as a financial consultant. So that's all about me. So, all right. So shall we start then?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much for that. Yes, today in this session, we are going to talk about two things majorly. That is, first thing is answering all your questions that you might be having about studying in Europe. And we'll also tell you about University of Applied Sciences. So let's get started about it. So Gautam, ready to take questions?
Sure, I'm all in.
That's amazing. So let's start with the hot topic of COVID, right? So my primary question from all of the students is that what is the possibility of starting the semester in September?
See, to be quite frank, I would say September, we still have time. We are still accepting applications for March intake. Our March intake hasn't been closed yet. We've extended our deadline until the end of this month.
Okay.
So any student who is capable of filing, has all the documentation and can file the application and can pay at least one semester fee, can actually study right now online at our online campus, or regardless where they are at. Even if they are in their home country, doesn't matter. They really do not have to move to Germany for that. And obviously, as time passes by and once the immigration service is open, for example, day before yesterday in the evening, one of my students who is currently studying online from the northern states in India, he received an email from the German embassy stating that his application has been processed successfully, and he will need to submit his passport for stamping post lockdown. So that means he can actually submit his passport for stamping once immigration embassy services are back online. And I'm looking at, according to current announcements, it is 3rd of May. So he can actually go to any of the embassies and submit his passport for stamping. About September, yes, September we are coming up with obviously we have the main the campus studies itself, wherein the students can move in and study. But at the same time, we will also be keeping the online option as an alternative active.
For fall intake also, like this is September intake.
Yeah, specifically for September and the coming intakes as well, because we've noticed that many a time students get the appointment quite late. So in our previous sessions, we used to keep at least 6 weeks of studies online, so that even if the student is late, they can actually study in their home country.
So you were already prepared for these kind of things.
Yeah, we already used to offer 6 weeks of study, it's just that we never offered a whole semester or a whole course.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are moving. We now ever since the COVID-19 issue, we moved online.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we are offering. I would say nearly we might end up offering the entire first semester online,
Mm-hmm.
or we can even start off with the second semester online. And at the same time, if things get better in the next couple of weeks, because I do see things getting better. In fact, in
Yes.
Germany, uh, you know the curve flattened long ago in March itself.
They are pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're pretty good. And the way the countermeasures were taken place, the amount of efforts that was put in by the government towards
Mm-hmm.
the local communities, it
Mm-hmm.
was huge. And because of that, they were able to flatten the curve at at the least amount of time.
That's
If you look
amazing.
at Europe,
Yeah.
you see Germany at a point wherein you would say like, okay, you look at other countries in Europe and you'll be like, okay, it's still going on. And you look at Germany and you see like, okay, that's good. So it's like Germany is coming up. And that's what we are working on as well as a potential institute for Indian students. In fact, I would say in February itself, the higher education,
Mhm.
I believe you're aware of it, right? The higher
Yes,
education
yes.
rankings. Okay, so THE actually, THE had an article on us wherein they
Mm-hmm.
stated that we are one of the top business institutes for Indian students in Germany.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and in fact, majority of our students actually come in from India. We get huge
Mm-hmm.
number of applications. In fact, for March intake itself, we
Mm-hmm.
had over 300 students who wanted to enroll,
Wow. Okay.
but still we made it near 180,
Okay.
which
So,
includes
so
online studies as well.
okay. So my question is, say that students have started with the online classes, right?
Yeah.
And by May 3rd, the visa dates might start picking up
Mhm.
and they might open, but still you need to have 45 to 50 days to get your visas, as you know, right?
Yeah.
The students can come anytime, like to offline, right? Like by
Yeah. You're
June or July,
absolutely right.
something. So
Absolutely right.
it's fine. You're saying.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. The thing is, they enroll online at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the semester. Okay, while they're waiting for their visas to be issued, or they're waiting for their visa appointment, they file their visas and later on get the stamping done. Everything is done. They move on to Germany to the offline campus.
Okay, okay.
So
So
that
there
means they
is,
can
yeah.
join in any time.
So is there any changes, Gautam, with the fees structure or anything for students who are starting online?
Well, to be quite frank, currently we haven't come up with any change, but we
Mm-hmm.
are actually in the process of planning a totally different fee structure as well,
Mm-hmm.
for especially starting September intake onwards. Because what happened in March was a sudden thing,
Exactly.
and the entire world was unprepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew it was coming, but everyone was like, "No, okay, it will pass on." But the
Yeah,
thing
everyone
was,
is learning now, like
yeah,
how to resolve. Every
yeah.
student
So
have different kinds of questions. Every question leads to some other thing. So I think
yeah,
yes, yeah.
and that is also helping us because we have our online students who are studying from India. We've got students studying from Bangladesh, Russia, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, and all these students. Every student is different.
True.
They require different support levels. There was one
Yeah.
student who told me 3 weeks ago. He's in Germany, to be frank. He's an Indian student. He's in Germany,
Okay.
and he was asked to study online from his accommodation. He was like, "Sir, when it's online, I don't get head or tail." And now he's actually studying, he's coping up. And
Yes.
he was supposed to, drop out. He was planning on leaving the campus and
Mm-hmm.
coming back for September again.
Hmm.
And he was actually planning to drop out now. But then by the time he bought his flight ticket, and 1 hour later, the airlines canceled the flight. Why?
Oh,
Because Indian
his
government actually
destiny
closed
was there.
borders. Yeah.
And
So
yeah, and many students, I have this question, Gautam, like even parents, they come up and say that if it is online, why should we pay so much of hefty amount, right? What is the difference?
yeah,
That's
that's
why
right.
I had my question. Definitely, if you're
You're right.
working on this, that's really amazing. So students might be looking forward. Okay, let's ask our participants now. We have been speaking for a long time.
Yeah.
Tarun, Syed, Shiv, Sachi, Sayali, Rohit, Amar, Shweta, we have a lot of students, more than 25 people are online. So guys, we are here to take your questions live. Feel free to ask any questions to me and Gautam and we'll be happy to help you out. Moving on, is it the hard copy of the documents is required now, Gautam?
To be quite frank, we never required hard copies of the documents.
Hmm.
We only required hard copies of the documents at the time of enrollment at the campus
Okay.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
when we actually requested the student. So any
Mm-hmm.
student who filed his or her application with us through an agent or directly with us,
Hmm.
is always requested to send us scanned copies.
Okay.
And we do also, while we are processing the documentation, we do a thorough check on the application,
Mm-hmm.
and we cross-verify the documentation, including academics and work experience as well. And
Okay.
later on, the student is asked to submit the same thing in the form of physical copy at the time of
Okay.
enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes what happens is like student, for example, bachelor's degree, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the most common examples that we have.
Hmm.
Students don't have their actual degree certificate; they have their provisional certificate.
Yes. Yes. I agree. Yeah.
And the most recent case that I had was wherein an application was filed. The
Hmm.
student gave his IELTS on the 13th of March, okay,
Okay.
and currently only has his online copy of his
But
IELTS
now,
results.
but nowadays we are not getting dates only, na Prashant. What are you
Yeah,
guys doing for them?
that's right. That's right. So for the students, especially, there are certain countries wherein we have exempted English language proficiency to be
Hmm.
submitted.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, for students from India, so I'm talking about South Asia in specific
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
In South Asia, we require students to submit some kind of proficiency certificate.
How
Now,
about giving conditional admissions? Are you doing
yeah.
anything with that?
So what we are doing is we are asking the students to submit medium of instruction letters.
Oh, okay, that's
They
cool.
can
Okay.
submit medium
Hmm.
of instruction letters because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we've always done in the past. Any
True. True.
student from India, doesn't matter. They can submit their medium of instruction letter
Yes,
and they can
you were
move
so
on.
supporting. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I agree. Yeah.
And but recently, because we have, we do conduct a lot of tests at
Mm-hmm.
the application stage itself. What we've
Okay.
done is we've merged medium of instruction letter and another English language test called as EFSET.
Okay.
EFSET does not require you to be physically go to a test center.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually give the test online. There
Sure.
are
Sure.
three variants: 15,
Mm-hmm.
50, and a 2-hour variant.
Mm-hmm.
So what we ask the student to do is a 50-minute variant and pass
Okay.
on the
Mm.
final certificate URL to us
Okay.
along with the other documents, and
So
that's
is
more
it
than enough.
same like ITS, like reading, writing, hearing, and speaking, the same
I would
pattern?
I would say like it's quite easier than ours. It
Oh
only has
wow,
reading and listening. In fact, only two modules.
that's
It doesn't
amazing.
consider your writing. It doesn't consider speaking at all. Only
Okay.
reading and listening.
Mm-hmm.
But the test gets complex, in itself. It's I would say like it does not require there is no invigilator, to be quite frank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the test in itself is very complex, and
Hmm.
as you move on to the next question, next question, it becomes harder and
Difficult.
harder. Yes, and that's wherein even I had difficulties. I wanted to test out the test itself,
Mm-hmm.
so see how difficult it can get. I scored a C2, and
Okay.
then it was to be quite frank, when I was in the listening bit,
Mm-hmm.
I had trouble,
Okay.
a lot of trouble.
Lot of trouble.
Yeah,
So it
so
needs practice. Lot of practice.
yeah, those 25 minutes were literally like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna reach C2 with this because reading I was very good. It
Okay.
was very easy, but
Mm-hmm.
listening it was very difficult.
So are you supporting students with materials or helping them how to prepare for this?
Well, to be quite frank, EFSET is actually free of cost,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. No, no,
Even
not
right
about
now,
how to prepare. Like,
well, to be quite frank, I don't prepare students on this one, but then they can give the test as many times as they want.
oh,
So they
okay.
can give the test again and again, again and again, again and again, 10 times in 10 days or 10 times in a single day.
So the best one, they can send it.
Yeah, practically, yes, they can do that. But then obviously, it's the URL. Because the
Oh.
thing is, in this particular test, every time you give it, the
Mm-hmm.
test certificate URL, it changes.
Acha, okay. So once you
So,
see the result, which is the best one, you should send the same URL to you guys.
well, it depends upon the students. Sometimes most of our students actually get it in the first try itself.
Mm-hmm.
There was just one case from Bangladesh wherein the students, listening was very bad,
Mm-hmm.
and he really needed a lot of work because
Okay.
even when I met him
Mm-hmm.
at the time of initial counseling session back in
Mm-hmm.
December, he was weak, and when we
Okay.
gave him the test, he actually cracked under pressure, and
Okay.
that's where everything went wrong. His reading was very good, but
Okay.
listening was like it was going down and down and down and down. The test itself is very easy. Anyone can reach out to me. I can explain how the test functions. I can do it right now as well, but if I do it right now, it's going to extend for a long time.
No,
So
we'll do it next time. Like when
yeah,
students come out, I will directly connect with you only.
sure, no
Okay,
problem.
that's amazing. We are having a lot of questions for you.
Yeah.
So we have our participant called Sachi. Hi, Sachi. Sachi is asking a question that would COVID-19 would affect on job opportunities after 2 years of students studying in Germany. Meaning would lead to recession.
Okay, recession. Yeah, that's a hot topic. Being a
That's a
financial
googly for
consultant.
you now.
Yeah, no. Being a financial consultant back in the days, recession was always my favorite topic. In fact, I still
Okay.
remember 2008 when the last recession took place.
Mm-hmm.
I made a hell lot of money trading stocks and equity. In fact, during that time, and in my group, I was the only one who was making money. The others were losing money, and everyone
Okay.
was, at the top of their voice, and they were like, "Dude, what are you doing? How are you making money?" And I was like, "See, I'm just playing around." Now,
Okay.
if you look at Germany's economy, okay, you look at last 4 years, it has been growing substantially. Now, it is at a point that they haven't taken a single loan
Mm-hmm.
for the past 4 years.
Okay.
They've grown so much. And even right now, despite the pandemic, the government has issued small time funding for freelancers, German freelancers, small companies in Germany itself.
Okay.
In fact, in the initial days of their effort itself, they spent over €1 million. I would say like more than €5 million as it is in a single day,
Mm-hmm.
just funding these businesses so that they can survive. Because
Okay.
everybody knows, you see a small business shop, even in India, you see a grocery guy, okay? Grocery comes under essentials, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessary that guy would be allowed to keep his shop open for the entire day. He has only 2 hours window.
True.
So when you have a 2 hour window, how much do you think you can sell?
Hmm. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
That's the thing. He won't be able to cut it. There's no profit in it at all. And majority
Mm-hmm.
of the groceries are actually going to waste, especially vegetables.
Hmm.
They aren't fresh. People won't buy it. Simple as that.
So, how do
And
you think about this engineering and all those things, or business-oriented programs? Like, how
well,
does it gonna hit your, like, you're gonna
well, to be
be okay?
to be quite frank, the way I'm looking at how it's going to go,
Mm-hmm.
it will actually get better and better as
Better
days
and
pass by.
better.
Because the thing is, at this point in time, Student
Mm-hmm.
Temp is one of the online platforms wherein students can actually look for part-time jobs or
Mm-hmm.
professional jobs one as a student or as a professional once they are in Germany.
Okay.
Now, this happens mostly, obviously, part-time jobs during the time of the studies and professionals post their studies.
So,
So,
so you have a counseling cell who will guide across this also
no,
for the
Student Temp
students?
is actually a website. So it's a
Okay.
third-party website that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and we've seen, and it has shown, despite the pandemic, there was a growth of 16%.
That's amazing. Okay.
That's quite high. And
Okay.
forget about Student Temp. If I have to talk
Mm.
about my own resources at the campus, all three
Mm-hmm.
campuses,
Mm-hmm.
we have for each campus we have a career counseling center. Every
Oh.
single campus has
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Their job is to speak with students,
Mm-hmm.
offer them guidance,
Mm.
tell them what they need to do, what they need not do.
Like the resumes and all?
Yes, resumes,
Yes.
how to behave in an interview, how to speak,
Mm-hmm.
the basic etiquettes that are very
Yeah.
important in Germany. Because see, for example, the most common example that I would talk about, I know I'm an Indian, I shouldn't be saying this, is punctuality,
True.
right? In India, if I say like 9 o'clock, it's always 9:30. Even right
Okay.
now, we were supposed to start at 6, but I had technical issues. We started at 6:10.
True.
So that's always there. But in
Yeah.
Germany, if someone tells you 9 o'clock, then 8:30 is also wrong, and 9:30 is also wrong. It has to be
Yeah.
9 o'clock
So
sharp.
all this, the small things, but it's actually very important, will be guided across by.
That's
Yeah.
right. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, what happens is like, students tend to refer to their friends who are already in Germany, and they say like, "Dude, can you look up a job for me?"
Mm-hmm.
Things like these. They look at newspapers, search classifieds and things, and try to get themselves a job. Now the thing is, majority of the time, these classifieds don't say that what the language requirements are.
True. So next question is that only for you actually. One of our student is asking you that because we have a lot of questions, so I'm moving it forward. How important is proficiency in English language, right? Are the attempts counted in regards to the test? What are the requirements? How many levels do you want?
Okay. Now, obviously, it depends. See, so if you're referring to EF set, it is the same as IELTS. Even
Mm-hmm.
IELTS, you will take like 10 attempts and submit the best of 10. You can
Mm-hmm.
do that with IELTS as well. And the same thing is
Okay.
with EF set. So there's
Okay.
no difference. What we look at is EF set is out of 100. So if
Okay.
you're looking at undergraduate studies, for example, a bachelor's degree which is offered by us, if you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at student college, we
Hmm.
require a minimum of 51 out of 100.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you're looking at masters, I require at least 56 out of 100.
Okay, okay. So, what is the levels that you want to, like, I'm asking, like, like A2, B1, B2, like
That would be at B2 level.
B2 level, right?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
if you're referring to EF set. If you're
Okay,
referring to IELTS, then it's like for undergraduate studies, it's like 5.5 overall, no less than 5.
okay.
Masters, 6.0 overall, no less than 5.5.
That's amazing, dear. Moving out for the next question. Hi, Rohit. Rohit is from Bangalore. Even I'm from Bangalore.
Oh,
Great. Okay, so Rohit is asking that I'm planning to apply for Bachelors of Engineering
mhm.
for English third program in Germany. But I need to prepare all the documents due to Corona issue. My IELTS exams has been cancelled. I have applied to get my study certificate from the university, but now it could not. Like my second semester exams may be postponed, and yeah, second PUC, I guess, right, can be postponed. And even after the exam, the university will take much time to issue a certificate. So the deadline would be over. So what should I be doing now? It's a
Okay.
general question.
Yeah, it's a general question because I don't offer engineering and undergraduate,
Mhm.
and I offer engineering only in foundation year, and it's in
Yeah.
German language, in fact. Now, the thing is, in general, if I have to answer this one, to be quite frank, all the majority of the private institutes and
Mm-hmm.
all the public institutes have actually canceled their summer semester. And their winter semester is still going to take place as of for now. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, in Germany, we have the application deadline as 15th of July. That's the application deadline for public
So
universities.
Rohit has little more time for
Mm,
winter intake, and there is hope.
yeah,
So Rohit,
there's
don't
still hope.
worry.
There's still
Yeah.
hope. There's still hope
So
on that part.
yeah, Omar is asking like German language is required for part-time job. Omar, I would like to take this question. Yes, of course, like having a language is definitely a boon in Germany. So please do have language at least A2 or B1 level. Complete it here. That will definitely help you to your
Yeah,
part-time jobs.
that's actually plays a very vital role. But
Exactly.
I've
Yeah.
seen students from my experience as well. I've got students from the northern India, wherein
Mm-hmm.
they actually they don't know German at all. Okay, zero
Okay.
German. They're same
Okay.
as me. But even though I'm working with a German institute, I
Mm-hmm.
hardly get any time to actually learn the language. The last time I attempted was back in July. And
Okay.
it's been nearly 1 year. I haven't made a single attempt after that because I hardly get any time. Now, I've seen students, despite of zero language ability, still getting part-time jobs because you walk into because Germany is if you there have been many articles about Germany, especially the financial sector, right? One of the articles that I remember from December was Germany is number one when it comes to cash in hand. And when
Okay.
I'm referring to cash in hand means no cards,
Okay.
only cash. So this is not just in relation to how retailers work, but
Mm.
majority of the time, this is how salaries are issued as well.
Oh, is
You
it?
go
That's
and
yeah.
that actually helps international students a lot as well to a
Yeah.
certain extent,
Okay.
right? Now it depends upon students to students as well,
Mm.
and
Mm.
majority of the time, the part-time industry that we look at for international students is, you know, a restaurant,
Mm.
tour guides, things like these.
Yes. So English
Restaurants.
also will be one of the thing that if you know.
Yeah,
Mm.
if you were talking about like prior to 2017, okay, then if you say B1, I would say okay, then you can come to Germany. It was different back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, immigration rules were different, people were different, and the number of students who were actually going to Germany weren't that many.
Mm-hmm.
Post 2017, when uh, when uh, when Chancellor Merkel came up with the international students of how international students can actually come over to Germany, the change in
Mm-hmm.
immigration laws, so that
Okay.
more and more students can actually come in and study in Germany. it actually gave in a boost.
Okay.
Within like 2 years' time, over 200,000 students were already in Germany.
Oh, okay.
And there was another post that I saw back in August, in fact, last year.
Hmm.
Wherein it was looking at how the finance, were looking at how you know, international students were actually shaping the German economy.
Hmm.
And it actually showed, I would say, like, if I have to look at the number of migrant workers which Germany requires, is nearly about 500,000 a year,
Oh.
which includes students, which can include students as well,
Hmm.
professionals from across the world.
Okay.
500,000 is a big number.
Big number. True, true. I agree. So we have a
Definitely.
next question from Haider Ali Sheikh.
Mhm.
Again, a general question for you, Gautam. How much delay will be there for getting a response, all right, from a public university due to COVID-19?
Okay, as of for now, I can say like the response timing is going to be pretty bad. Although it's a work from home scenario right now, but then the German government has come up with new rules and regulations with that as well, and there is limited hour working system.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Okay.
again, it's when it comes to public universities, yes, they take a whole lot of time to respond.
Yeah, we are facing the same difficulty here. Like
I've
we're
had,
still
I've,
waiting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've had the same difficulties. A lot of students approach me on Facebook and Instagram.
Mm.
They ask me like, "Sir, I've applied in TU Munich, and this is the issue. I applied like 6 months ago. I haven't heard a response yet." The biggest challenge comes across here is with public universities is that majority of the students, they actually don't know the entry requirements.
True, yeah, I agree to it.
They
But
apply and wait.
yeah, yeah, and I have seen students miss out on documents also, right?
Yeah.
Like attestation of the documents they miss out, or it could be like LOR hard copy, and they are very particular in attestation. So if they don't have it, they just generally go ahead and reject. And German language also, many of the schools, guys, they require minimum A1 level German language, right? Even though it's an English taught programs, public university, and students think that it's just an English taught program that I'll go and apply for it. But that would, relatively a wrong gesture to do it, and you will be rejected. And I believe like CGPA, like conversion, would be a really difficult thing in Germany. Like students from different university had different calculations, and converting that to German, students fail in that. So these are the two common things I have seen. And the third most important is application itself, right?
Yeah.
It's so hard to crack the application that you need to go from one page to other, and ultimately it will be in German converted. Like I myself feel so difficult to do it after being from 9 to 10 years in this industry, right? So I would say yes, there are a lot of pitfalls. You need to have professionals doing this for you guys. For Germany, feel free to reach out to us at hello@azent.com. Please post your CV so that we have an expertise, a senior counselor who review it and get back to you. Okay, the next question for you, dear, is like, for freshly graduate student, is it possible to get admission in MBA without work experience? Syed Taha is asking you.
Okay, MBA is tough, to be quite frank. We are referring to MBA. MBA is one of, like, for example, in India, we can do MBA right after a bachelor's degree. In Germany, it's not like that. It takes a lot of time to do
That's
an
the
MBA,
biggest
in fact.
myth all of our students
Yeah,
have.
it's mostly you need to do actually your first master's first and after bachelor's degree. So it depends. Majority, if you look at uh, that website as well, you will see a lot of entry requirements, and it's quite easy as well to get in. There are some public institutes who do not request for prior experience. There are some who do, and same goes for private as well. There are some who don't and some who do.
Yeah.
And to be quite frank, if I have to talk about my own programs, okay, business and arts faculty that we offer in masters, or work experience can play a vital role in cross faculty. Students
Tell
from
us
different
more about the
faculty and applying for
requirement of,
different faculty.
Prashant, tell us more about requirement of our university itself, so that, student will be more prospective towards applying if they don't require any work experience.
Sure. So what do I start with? Masters?
Like masters and MBA programs, the requirements for our university.
Okay, currently we only offer MSc and MA programs. We used to offer an MBA as well as a complementary to international sports and event management.
Okay.
But ever since we had cancellation of contract with Real Madrid Business School in Spain earlier this year, we've canceled the complementary MBA, but we are still working with other institutes in order to come up with new programs. Now the thing is, for MA and MSCs, we accept both cross faculty. Student can be from any faculty what they want, but it
Okay.
all comes down to is the program length.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have the 2-year programs, we have the 1-year programs, and we have the 1.5-year programs as well. And work experience, although we do not require work experience, but it can still play a vital role.
Okay. And how about anything with GRE or GMAT requirement is there?
Or no GRE GMAT
No
requirement.
GRE GMAT,
You do
right?
not require that for us.
And the percentage wise, will it be like how much would be the basic requirement that you want?
We look at minimum 60%.
Okay.
However, what happens is like despite keeping at 60%,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain programs wherein the entry requirement is a bit difficult compared to the others. For
Like
example, if I have to talk about our arts programs, you need a professional portfolio. For example, photography.
okay.
When was the last time did you hear about photography as a academic qualification? I would
Exactly.
say hardly once or maybe twice in a lifetime. And you may have not given that much, focus onto that program. But then we see photography as a basic, I would say like a basic professional program in India, but it's not the same for us. We offer
True.
bachelor's and master's degree both.
Yeah.
So
So
for master's
having a
degree,
portfolio is important.
it's very important in photography. It doesn't matter which background you come up from. Your
Okay.
portfolio has to be very
That's
neat and professional.
okay. We
So
have sorry, dear. We have a next
yeah,
question asking that can I learn German language while pursuing my masters? Plus, I have a follow-up question for this. That is, does our university teach German while studying? So these are the two combination of
see
questions.
what we actually offer is basic classes which the
Mm-hmm.
student can enroll onto from second semester
Mm-hmm.
onwards. Okay, because obviously first semester they do not have enough time to actually enroll for the classes,
Mm-hmm.
because by the time they come to the campus, it's already orientation there.
Okay.
So in the second semester they can actually apply for basic German learning.
Okay.
And when I say basic, means very basic. Okay,
So it
because
costs
German is
extra?
it's free.
It's
It's free.
oh wow.
It's free
Okay.
of cost. So it's very basic,
Mm-hmm.
and the student, it's up to the student how much they try to speak, how much they put in an effort in the language. For example, if I'm in India, okay,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, I literally had to focus on 5 to 6 different languages just
Okay.
to see to it that I understand. Because sometimes what happens is like I come across students who are from a different language background. They've never studied English, or even if they've studied, they've only studied English as a subject. Okay,
True.
and they can't speak English properly, and they're not comfortable speaking. And when you're not comfortable, your questions are not right. You might want to ask something else, and you might end up asking me something else.
Yeah.
So
So
just because of
learning
that, I had to
so
focus on the
learning
listening
minimum
part.
A1 and A2 from here and going also would be beneficial, right? In
Yeah,
this
it's
case.
actually beneficial. So the
Mm.
student can actually study the
Hmm.
language while they are studying our programs as well. And at the
Okay.
same time, there are various communities out there in Berlin and every other city of Germany wherein the cost can be as low as zero
Oh wow. Okay.
and can go up to 30 to 45 euros a week or a month as well. It
Mm-hmm.
depends. There
Hmm.
are so many communities out there which actually helps people and students, professionals in
Hmm.
learning the language.
Okay.
So if you're out there, you want to learn the language, yeah, you can definitely apply.
Definitely.
If,
Yes.
if
Yeah.
you don't know what to do, just approach our student services. They will be able to help. Or you can even just Google, or you can check with your fellow classmates.
Mm-hmm. Or
They will
yes,
actually be the
seniors,
most
yeah.
social one.
Yes,
Yeah.
the seniors, yeah, definitely. So I have a next question, a general question, like, or you can specifically tell about our university also. How common is it for Indian students to get internships or projects while doing their master's program?
All right. Well, to be quite frank, while working on master's program, the first thing we recommend students to do is not to go for an internship.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why.
Okay.
Master's courses are shorter compared to bachelor's courses.
Okay.
And once you have a bachelor, you already are a professional. Okay? You can
Mm-hmm.
get yourself a very good job, even
Mm-hmm.
in Germany.
Okay.
Now, what we expect the student to do is get a working student contract. A working student contract is a totally different scale. You work
Mm-hmm.
on a different scale altogether. It's not
Okay.
that you are an intern. You are
Okay.
there as an employee, but you're not permanent either,
Either. But
right?
while studying master, they can do it, right? They like
Yes,
in a
they can.
final
They
semester.
yeah, not just final semester. They can start up in their first year of masters itself.
Oh,
They don't
that's
have to
super.
wait
Yeah.
until the fourth semester to
Okay.
actually apply for that. They can
Okay.
look it up. They can they can contact our career center for that.
Mm-hmm.
They can check in, because what I suggest my students is the day you enroll,
Mm.
just walk into the career center first, submit your CV, ask them for advice, any changes or corrections to be made on the CV, and that is how they can actually get it sorted.
That's an
What
amazing
we
tip.
Yes, and that's why we support our master students a lot when it comes to working student contracts,
Okay.
because by having a working student contract, you've done 80% of the job, and that is bagging yourself a job even before you graduate. For example, a
True.
classic example is
Uh-huh.
from our finance management batch.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Okay.
student, okay? It's just that she has an advantage. She's a
Mm-hmm.
German national,
Mm-hmm.
but she's doing the English version of the course, not the German version of the course. She's doing the English version of the course, and she's a
Okay.
German national. She
Okay.
has a salary of 71,000 euro per year, and
Wow.
she is still a student. Okay,
Okay.
she is still a student. I still have to check on her academics and which semester she's in, but
Mm.
as far as I'm aware, she is still a student.
That's a
She's not
huge
left us
money,
yet.
Gautam.
Yeah. So 71,000 euros a year is big money.
Yeah.
And that's her current salary package. Okay. As
Imagine after
on
she
a working student contract.
graduates.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So for our students, we actually support them a lot career wise. We
Mm-hmm.
try to push them to certain places. We try to give them opportunities, show them the doorways. And
Okay.
to be quite frank, the ones who actually approach our career center have more guidance, more professional guidance on how to
Mm.
get themselves a job.
True. True.
And to be quite frank, not many of our students actually use it. Think about it. If many of our students actually start using it, how much of exposure that they will have in the industry.
Yes. Omar is again asking us the same question. I would want you to repeat the answer. Like, do university accept any other exams than IELTS?
See,
The one which you said.
apart from IELTS, we have EF set in combination with medium of instruction letter. We've got the password test as well. Password test is something we are currently working on, especially for the current scenario. I know it's quite late. We still haven't released it yet, but we are still working on it. It hasn't been released yet, but yeah, password skill test is also one of the tests that we include. Then we have the Cambridge Free University certificate that we also accept. We accept TOEFL as well. We accept PTE as well. So
Superb.
PTE, actually, initially we do used to accept it, but there was some issues wherein we weren't actually registered. So even though
Okay.
we were accepting it, we were having trouble when they were sending us the documents. We would not receive it
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So I had to actually, step into it and sort it out last year. So
Okay.
I sorted it out around, like, I would say in June last year, and ever since that day, we haven't had any issues with PTE. In
Yeah.
fact, we work well. In fact, whenever I'm in Bangladesh, I work very closely with PSNs.
That's a lot of options, Amar,
Yeah.
over there, so you can check out with all these things. And I would like to ask Aditya, Haider, Kavita, Krupa, Kritika, Sachi, Shweta, Syed. You have a lot of people. You guys don't have questions. Here, Prashant is there to help you guys. So feel free to ask any questions. So I would like to ask one more questions on behalf of me. I want to know, Prashant, what are the most popular majors for Indian students which your university is giving, and where you have majority of the Indians applying, and also post-study recruitment, or it could be job opportunities, are very high.
So are you referring to bachelor's or master's here?
Masters.
If you're referring to masters, I would say a lot of our students actually apply for the 2 years and the 1 year corporate management. Right?
Corporate
That's one of
management.
the, yeah,
Yes.
corporate management. I know when you hear corporate management, you say like, okay, what is, so why is it's the name? It doesn't ring a bell properly, and
Yeah,
a lot of
actually,
students,
that's why I repeated it.
yeah,
Corporate.
because a lot of students actually look forward for international business, or
Mm,
something related to business faculty in the form of a master's or an MBA.
mm,
Now the thing is, when you hear corporate management on the first instance as an
mm.
MSc degree, you start thinking, okay, what's the content? Let me just look at the content of it. And sometimes it slips your mind, you don't check it. But if you look at it, corporate management is a lot more similar to international business.
Okay.
That is one of the majors that actually a lot of Indian students go abroad for, especially in the UK and sometimes in Canada as well. So
Okay.
it's very common to international business. It's just that it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
different
it
name,
sounds
but the
different,
topics are
but
the
topics
similar.
mostly are the same.
Okay.
Now, corporate management, yeah, the 2-year format and the 1-year format. For 2-year format, we require student at least with a minimum of 3-year bachelor's degree. Wherein for the 1-year format, the student can have 3-year bachelor's degree plus 1 master's, or can have a minimum of 4-year of bachelor degree. That
Okay.
means the entire course length has to be 4 years.
4 years. 12
Yeah,
plus 4 is the requirement. 3
12
you're
plus,
not taking.
yeah, 12 plus 4 is what we are looking at. 3 plus 3 is not accepted. So
that's
12 plus
okay.
4, or the student can also have a B.Ed, Bachelor of
Okay.
Education, over his actual bachelor's. Even that would be accepted. Or most common is B.Ed that we see in North, but we also see LLB as well.
Okay.
Sometimes students take a longer period to complete the LLB. They add it as an optional above their year
Yeah.
bachelor's.
So
So
even
in
if
that
you,
format is also
yeah,
accepted.
even if you go for 1 year or 2-year program, the stayback remains the same, right?
It remains the same. It doesn't change at all.
Okay.
See, the
So 1.5
basic
years is the
yeah.
stayback.
Yeah. So the basic concept here is you study even the last semester with us, you still get that stayback period.
That's amazing.
It's so basic.
Yeah.
That's why we, we have different kind of programs. For example, the latest program that is picking up in India is Innovation Design Management. Last semester in September, okay, I'm not talking about March because it has only one intake a year. We had over 17 students, out of which around 9 students were from India.
Okay. So
Now,
what is this program all about, and who all can do this?
Innovation Design Management, you would say, it's like a management program, but in the arts faculty. Okay.
Arts faculty.
Only one design module in it, which while the rest is mostly entrepreneurship and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
like innovation and entrepreneurship, you're telling?
Yeah, that's right. So innovation and entrepreneurship. So that is something that most people look out for. And when I look at the kind of jobs you can work on, it's mostly like design managers. These are like way above UX designers.
Okay.
And the kind of salary you would be expecting is around like 60,000 plus postgraduate.
Initially, you're saying like
Yeah,
starting.
that's the initial kind of salary. If you walk into the right company, that's the kind of salary that you can be expecting. But then it's all up to the students. I see students, for example, recently I had like 8 applications.
Okay.
All 8 were from Bangladesh. And each of those applications were from different fields, right? Now, I had students from engineering, computer engineering. I had students from architecture, civil engineering, electrical engineering. So these are different. I even had students from business background.
Okay.
Even students from business background. And
multidisciplinary, you're saying.
Yeah. So innovation design management is kind of multidisciplinary program. But the thing is, it's just a 1-year program. So students say like, it's 1-year program. How many credits do I get? I say like 60 credits is 1 year. But then there is also another big advantage. That is, the students can actually get, remember I told you work experience is not required for us, but plays a vital role in certain programs. So innovation design management is one such program, wherein if you have a minimum of 1.5 or 2 years of work experience, you can get yourself 60 additional credits.
How
So
come?
60
How is
credits just for the work experience and 60 credits for the program. That makes it a 120 credit program. And your bachelor's degree is already, 180 credits.
Okay.
Indian bachelor's degree, that's how we calculate as 180 credits. So plus 120 that makes it 300 credits.
That's amazing. That will help.
That's how, there's a lot of calculation involved. So this is how students can actually, are actually getting interested in this program, because it's just a 1-year program. True. And they're getting additional 60 credits just for the work experience.
Okay.
That's what, actually it's developing, and we are getting more and more applications for this.
So after urban designing, right? Like what are the scope of the jobs? Like what kind of jobs they're going to get it?
See, innovation design management, I would say mostly in design industry at top positions like design managers. Now, when I say like design industry, everybody thinks like, okay, I don't want to be an artist or something like that. The thing is, being a design manager doesn't mean that you need to be an artist. Okay, it's a management course in the design field, but that doesn't mean that you need to be an artist to do this course. You can be from any discipline.
Even from mechanical, right?
Yeah,
I think we lost Prashant. Okay, guys. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to post it. I think there is a network glitch from Prashant's side. So I would like to take few more questions. Anybody has any question, please do post it here. I'll be happy to help you out. And Haider have asked one more question: is how do I get an internship while I pursue?
so let me just continue where we were. For example, a classic program which is called, a classic company which is called as Porsche. Porsche is a car company. Everybody knows that. But then Porsche itself has different, I would say, you know, departments in itself. You have your business department, which is faculty, which is different, which includes your HRs, your finance team, your management team, and stuff like that. Then you have your events organizing teams separate. You have your design team, which is separate. Everything, to be quite frank, Porsche has literally every sector within the company itself. They don't really have to go outside to seek, go for consult or go for a professional consultant or things like that. They already have all those things in their company. Now, the thing is, when you have all those things within the company, it so similarly, when you do innovation
Yeah.
design management, it's not necessary that you actually
Hmm.
study you work in the management sector of Porsche. You can
Okay.
actually join the R&D department as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary that you need to be a designer in the R&D department. You can actually be as a design manager in that particular department. So
Okay.
same goes for mechanical engineering guys. Mechanical engineering guys are mostly they come when they think about Germany, they think about automotive. They
Mm-hmm.
want to get into R&D departments. They want to design their own cars and stuff like that. And the best way to actually get into choose would be R&D. Why? Because it's all about designing a car. That's
Okay.
the very basic. You can even work in there are a lot of shops out there in Germany which actually focus towards car modifications as well, because
Mm-hmm.
over there car modification rules are different. Over in India, car modification rules are different. Try modifying an ambassador, you'll come to know.
True. We
Recently,
have
I saw that post on Google. In fact, the modified
yeah,
ambassador.
that's the famous thing which is going on, right? It
Yeah,
is. So
that's right. So
I have a next question for you is like, what is the best way to find out accommodations in Germany, especially in popular cities which have become a very big problem?
okay, I would say the very first thing that you need to do is once you have your letter of admission and everything sorted, your visa as well, to not get yourself an accommodation on a long-term basis from India. Do not make that arrangement ever. Okay, you only book a short-term accommodation, not more than 6 weeks. Okay, and that too, it can be in the form of through Booking.com. Booking.com is how much? 1,200 bucks a day. That's quite cheaper compared to actual rent itself. You're looking at, if, for example, classic example, Berlin, 400 euros. Okay, it starts off 400 euros. Now, 400 euros, you convert it into Indian currency. Current rate is around like 80 bucks per
Oh,
euro,
okay. So
right?
you say
So
that
80.
you go there and then book for a longer
That's right.
term, like
That's right.
Uh,
You actually go over there first.
mm,
Okay,
mm.
you check with your seniors. The
Don't
seniors
book
are the first
online.
ones who would be looking for format. No, you can look online.
Okay.
But once you're in Germany, why?
Okay.
Because once you're in Germany, you can actually visit the place.
Okay.
You look at the if I have to talk about accommodation, let's take for example Oyo.
Acha, Airbnb, Oyo, these kind of thing you're saying. That would be
Yeah,
the first thing.
yeah. So in India, if I look at Oyo on the phone, accommodation looks like amazing. You want to book for a long-term basis, but when you actually go over there, I'm like, okay, what did I sign up for? It doesn't look like that. So it's like that. So you don't want to do that for a long-term basis. So you only go for like Airbnb or Booking.com or Neonwood for
Yeah.
short-term.
Short term.
Okay, you go for short-term. Check with your
Seniors
friends,
and
college
friends and
seniors
yeah.
in college. You can, for example, in our institute, we actually request students to approach the student services and check with them as well, see if there
Okay.
are any openings. We've got, you know, notice boards in the campuses. They can check
Okay.
those notice boards. They can check with their seniors as well.
Okay.
Uh, our student services always tries to, you know, find more and more accommodations for students. In fact, in during the March scenario that we had, you know, just before the lockdown started in India, we had a lot of issues with accommodation in Berlin campus, and literally everyone in my team was working, you know, literally 16 to 17 hours a day.
Oh.
That includes the team in South Asia, us business developers, and the team in Berlin campus.
Okay.
It also included our director of business development, senior managers,
That's
everyone.
really hard. Yes.
And
Yes.
we were actually working on getting accommodation. Overnight, we were getting flats for the students.
Okay.
And we
That's
were
really,
able to sort out a lot of accommodation for the students because students, they were having difficulties.
that's
They
very
did not have
helpful, Prashant.
accommodation contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And without accommodation contracts, they cannot get their bank accounts open. They cannot get money from their, you know, from their block accounts. So they're literally penniless.
True. I
So
agree.
we had to do something or the other. So we literally worked overnights for like 3 to 4 days back to back getting accommodation sorted. Especially the Berlin team was very helpful on that. The campus was closed, but then there were limited staffing just for administrative purpose, and everyone was on phone calls.
So
So
we
it
know
helped.
how friendly, how cooperative is, the our university. So I would love you guys to send a CV at hello@azent.com. I'll repeat, HELLO, hello@azent.com. This would help you out to reach out to us, and we will definitely help you to submit the application at our university. We are running out of time, Prashant. We'll keep it crisp. Last two questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
Do you differentiate between the grades from the top tier schools like IITs and BITs, and from tier 2 and tier 3 schools also like VTU or Bangalore University or Mumbai University? Do you have any differences? Like, we have only a few minutes time, so we'll keep it crisp.
Okay, I'll cut it short. I do not look at from where they've completed the course in India.
Oh, thank you so much. Is there any
I don't look at that at all.
so my next question is there any possibilities of PR after graduation?
See, PR immediately after graduation is a long shot. Okay? You need to spend at least 5 years in Germany, and your
Okay.
education is counted only half. So
Okay.
if you have done a 2 years master's, it's counted as 1 year towards education, and you still need to be 4 years in Germany. So any education that you do is counted as half. Bachelor's degree, 3-year course counted as 1.5 years only.
Okay.
1 year master's counted as 6 months only. So whatever you do, education is counted as half only. So on an average, it is 1.5 years, I would say. Bachelor, for example, I take bachelor's degree as an example. So 1.5 years of bachelor's degree, and then you spend another 1.5 years on your job seeker visa. Job seeker visa, obviously, it's regardless. You can work in any faculty you want. However, when you're converting your job seeker visa into work permit, you need to have a job in your own faculty.
Okay.
So 1.5 plus 1.5 years of job seeker, that makes it 3 years. Stay 2 years more, you're done. Your PR is there. To be quite frank, the student is eligible for PR by the time they apply for the work permit.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Gautam.
Yes.
That was very sweet of you that you answered most of the question. We have a last question which I would love to take. Haider, say again. Haider, I need your CV. Could you tell about internship, especially in robotics or similar field? Yes, Haider, see, you can't go and apply now only for any internship from here. I would like to say that anyhow, you'll be in the final semester. Either you are in technical university or Hochschule, you will be in internship, right? That will definitely help you out from the school itself. So need not to worry from here itself, right? Go there, your counseling cells will definitely help you. You're going for public universities or private university, every university will guide you for your internship. That was great speaking to you, Mr. Gautam. And thank you everyone for joining us for this session. And if you have any more question or we have missed out taking your questions, you know where to reach us. That is hello@azent.com. Share your CV and get it right away reviewed from our experts. Okay, we ensure that we will make you to reach to your dream university. Wish you good luck. Be home, be safe. Yes, Gautam.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, everyone. We'll see you
Thank you,
later.
guys. Yeah, thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Bye-bye.